The Vatican City, October 9, 1958. A hush falls over the hallowed halls. Pope Pius XII, leader of the Catholic world, has breathed his last. His reign, spanning nearly 2 tumultuous decades, is over. But what should be a time of solemn mourning will soon transform into a spectacle of scandal. A macabre tale of hubris, miscalculation, and bodily betrayal. This is the story of the Pope who blew up. The world mourned. Pius XII was a complex figure. He led the Church through the dark days of World War II. He provided spiritual guidance to millions, yet controversy clung to him. His silence during the Holocaust echoed through the decades. Now, in death, he was about to court even more controversy. The responsibility for preparing the Pope's body for viewing fell upon a man named Dr. Riccardo Galeazzi Lisi, the Pope's personal physician, a man with an ego as large as his ambitions. But did he have the skill to match? The world held its breath, unaware of the horrors that were about to unfold. The stage was set for a scandal that would shake the Vatican to its core. Eugenio Maria Giuseppe Giovanni Pacelli, the man who would become Pope Pius XII, born in 1876 into a family deeply entrenched in the Church's fabric. His path seemed preordained. He rose quickly through the ranks, a sharp mind, a staunch defender of the faith. He navigated the complexities of the Vatican with ease. In 1939 he ascended to the papacy, taking the name Pius XII. He inherited a world on the brink. The dogs of war were barking. Soon, Europe was engulfed in chaos. Pius XII found himself walking a tightrope, trying to safeguard the Church while navigating the treacherous political landscape. His papacy was marked by both triumph and tribulation. He oversaw the definition of the Assumption of Mary. He extended Vatican outreach during the post-war period, but his critics were vocal. They questioned his silence on the Holocaust, a silence that continues to be debated to this day. Dr. Riccardo Galeazzi Lisi was a man of contradictions, ambitious and unorthodox. He craved the limelight, yet seemed to stumble from one controversy to another. His appointment as the Pope's personal physician raised eyebrows. Galeazzi Lisi was known for his unconventional methods. He championed alternative treatments. He eschewed traditional medical practices. He believed he knew better than the textbooks. This arrogance would prove to be his undoing. When Pius XII breathed his last, Galeazzi Lisi saw an opportunity, a chance to cement his legacy. He would preserve the Pope's body, not with the tried and tested methods of embalming, but with his own unique approach. Little did he know his hubris would lead to disaster, a disaster that would make headlines around the world and forever tarnish his name. Embalming, the art of preserving the dead, a practice steeped in tradition, a delicate dance of science and reverence. But Galeazzi Lisi scoffed at convention. He would do things his way. Traditional embalming was a meticulous process, the removal of bodily fluids, the careful injection of preservatives. It was a science designed to delay the inevitable decay. But Galeazzi Lisi dismissed these practices as barbaric, unfitting for the Vicar of Christ. Instead, he opted for a bizarre cocktail of oils, herbs, and plastic wrap. His inspiration, the burial of Christ. He claimed to be replicating the ancient techniques used to prepare Jesus' body for the tomb, a claim that would have made any self-respecting embalmer scoff. Adding to the recipe for disaster was the Pope's own request. He had expressed a desire for his organs to remain intact, a request that, while understandable, complicated the embalming process. Section 5. The clock starts ticking. The clock was ticking. Time was the enemy, and Galeazzi Lisi's unorthodox methods were no match for the relentless march of decomposition. Within hours, the signs were impossible to ignore. The Pope's skin, once pale, began to darken. A sickly greenish hue spread like a stain. The odor, faint at first, quickly intensified. A putrid stench permeated the room, a stench that would soon spread throughout the Vatican. The body, pumped full of oils and herbs, began to bloat. The gases of decomposition trapped beneath the skin had nowhere to go. Galeazzi Lisi, oblivious to the ticking time bomb he had created, continued his work, his arrogance blinding him to the horrifying reality unfolding before his eyes. The stage was set for a spectacle that would horrify and astound the world, a macabre testament to the folly of one man's ego. Section 6. The stench of scandal. The smell was the first sign. An undeniable stench wafted through the corridors of the Vatican, acrid and overpowering. It spoke of decay, of death unnaturally prolonged. The Swiss guards, those stoic sentinels of the Holy See, were the first to succumb. The odor, thick and heavy, caused fainting spells. Guards had to be rotated every 15 minutes. Their faces, usually so impassive, were twisted in disgust. Word of the Pope's condition spread like wildfire. Whispers became hushed conversations. Then, the unthinkable. The news leaked to the outside world. The Vatican, that bastion of secrecy, was caught in a scandal of unprecedented proportions. The world watched in disbelief as the tale unfolded. The Pope, their spiritual leader, was literally decomposing before their eyes. The absurdity of the situation was almost comical. Almost. Section 7. Exile and Aftermath. The fallout was swift and brutal. Galazzi Lisi, once the Pope's trusted physician, became a pariah. The Vatican, eager to distance itself from the scandal, wasted no time in casting him out. He was banned from the Vatican City, his medical license was revoked, his career was in tatters. The man who had sought to preserve the Pope's legacy had instead become a footnote in history, a cautionary tale of ambition gone awry. The Vatican, reeling from the humiliation, took drastic measures. Embalming procedures were overhauled, traditional methods were reinstated. No longer would they rely on the whims of a maverick physician, the Pope who blew up. It was a scandal that shook the Church to its core, a scandal that forced the Vatican to confront its own mortality, and a stark reminder that even the most sacred of institutions are not immune to human folly. Section 8. Lessons learned. The scandal surrounding Pope Pius XI's embalming serves as a stark reminder of the importance of tradition and expertise. Galeazzi Lisi's hubris, his belief that he could improve upon centuries-old practices, had disastrous consequences. The Vatican learned a valuable lesson that day, a lesson about the importance of humility, about the dangers of straying from established practices, and about the need for transparency and accountability. In the wake of the scandal, the Vatican implemented strict guidelines for the handling of papal remains. Transparency became paramount. No longer would the process be shrouded in secrecy. The world would see that the Church had learned from its mistakes. Section 9. A lasting legacy. The legacy of Pope Pius XII remains complex and contested. His papacy, marked by both triumph and controversy, continues to be debated by historians and theologians. But the scandal surrounding his embalming serves as a bizarre postscript to his life and legacy. The incident highlighted the inherent tension between tradition and modernity, between faith and science. It forced the Vatican to confront its own mortality, and to acknowledge that even the most sacred of institutions are not infallible. The Pope who blew up. It is a story that continues to fascinate and horrify. A reminder that even in death, things can go terribly wrong. And that sometimes, the most bizarre stories are the ones that teach us the most valuable lessons.